Hello friends, my name is Omkar and welcome to the channel Teaching with Omkar. Let's start with some important interview question and answers. Let's move to the first slide. So, what is the use of response.output type? So, normally with the help of this, we can write the formatted output. Formatted means if you're writing some data, then that can be formatted based on this output.write. The next question. In which event of the page life cycle is the view state available? As you know that the ASP.NET page life cycle there are the different events we can say from pre-init to unload. So after the init and just before the page load, view state is available and we can do the operations on the view state. Next question. What is the difference between server.transfer and respond.redirect? In server.transfer, page processing transfers from one page to the another page without making a round trip back to the client browser. So this will increase the performance of client-server communication. This also provides a faster response with a little less overhead on the server. The client's URL history list or current URL server does not update in case of server.transfer. For the response.redirect, it's used to redirect the user's browser to another page or site, but it performs a trip back to the client where the client browser is redirected to the new page. The user's browser history list is updated to reflect the new address, so it's increasing a little overhead on the client side. Next question. From which base class all waveforms are inherited? So page class is the base class from which all the waveforms are inherited. Next. What are the different validators in ASP.NET? As most of the persons are using these validations, like if you do any forms, creating an employee form or any form, in that we are doing the JavaScript or jQuery validation. Apart from that, you can also use the some inbuilt validation that is provided by the ASP.NET. These are as below, like required field validator, range validator, compare validator, then custom validator, regular expression validator, and summary validator. Out of these validators, controller you use if you need to make sure that values in two different controllers are matched. So if you want to compare the values between two controllers, then compare validator can be used. Next, what is view state? So view state is used to retain the state of the server side object between the page post back. So if you want to transfer data from one page to another page that is happening with the round trip with the server, in that case we can use the view state. So view state maybe contain the username or password or any simple information that cannot be used or that is not much important. Password we can encrypt and save in the view state. What are the views that is stored after the page post back? Views that are stored in the hidden field on the page at the client side. View state is transported to the client and back to the server and is not stored on the server or any other external source. Then next, what are the different session state management options available in ASP.NET? First one is the in prog, that we can say in process, out prog, output process. In process stores the session in memory of the web server. Then out of process is session state management stores the data in an external server. The external server may be either SQL server or the state server. All objects stored in the session are required to be serialized for out of process state management. Next, how long the items in view state exist? They exist for the life of the current page. Means if current page is expired or current page is reloaded, then view state will be changed or it will be updated. Then next, what is the difference between execute scalar and execute non-query? It's related to the SQL. So execute scalar returns the output values, whereas the execute non-query does not return any value, but the number of rows affected by the query. Like if you're using the select query or count query, so it's just returning the number of data. It's returning the data that we expected. But if you're doing any update or any delete, then it's just returning the number of rows are affected. So in that case, we can use the execute non-query. Then execute scalar is used for fetching a single value. And execute non-query used to execute insert and update statement. That is what I say. Next question. What is caching? So caching is a technique used to increase the performance by keeping frequently accessed data or files in a memory. The request for cache file or data will be accessed from the cache instead of actual location of that file. So with the help of caching, we increase the performance, like a server will not getting the burden of storing the some data, and it will store at the cache position, and it will return back to the there. So it will increase the performance. What is the difference between execute scalar and execute non-query? Execute scalar returns the output value, whereas execute non-query does not return any value. Yes, sorry, this one is the repeated question. So let's move to the next question. What are the different types of caching? ASP.NET has three types of caching, we can say. One is the output caching, fragment caching, and third one is the data caching. So if you talk about the fragment caching, if you do the part of the page to be cached, then fragment caching can be used. And data caching is a large amount of data can be cached. And output caching, that output cache variable is used to cache the object. Next question. List the events in the page lifecycle. As we also discussed in previous slide, page lifecycle events like page pre-init, then page init. Next one is the page init complete, then page preload, then page load, then page load complete, then page pre-render and render, and another one is also there, unload. So these are the different page life cycle that is occurred for every request and response in the page that is occurring in the ASP.NET. Next, which type if caching will be used if you want to cache the portion of the page instead of the whole page. As we discussed in previous slide, if you do the part of the page just to be cached, then we can use the fragment caching. So it caches the portion of the page generated by the request. Or for that we can create the user control with the below code. So we can say like below output cache can be created with the duration of 120 minutes. Then vary by parameter use category ID and select ID. So with that we can use the fragment caching. Next question. Is it possible to create a web application with both waveforms and MVC? So yes, its answer is yes. We have to include below MVC assembly reference in the waveforms application to create the hybrid application. Like the system.web.mbc, then web.tracer, and third one is the component model.data annotation. These three can be used to create the application with the waveforms and MVC. Next question. Can we add code files of different language in app code folder? No, the code files must be in the same language to be kept in an app code folder. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Write code to send an email in the ASP.NET application. Okay, so in this, if you want to send an email in the ASP.NET, then we need some DLS in mid like system.net, and that contains the mail message related information. So first we need to create the object of the mail message. In this mail message object, all the required information that is required to send an email is present, like to whom we need to send email, from whom we need to send email, then subject line, body, then which server we need to use, SMTP server, and last one is the SMTP email send email, and send contain the mail message that we are want to send. And a mail message and SMTP mail are the classes that are defined in the system.webmail namespace that is used to send the email. Next, how can we prevent the browser from caching in ASP.NET? Sometimes if you require to prevent the browser to do not do the caching in the ASP.NET, so we can use the set no store on HTTP cache policy object exposed by the response object cache property. Response.cache.set no store. This can be used that prevent browser from caching the ASP page. Then response.write data now.toLong timestamp. Let's move to the next question. What is protected configuration? It's a feature used to secure the connection string information. Like if you store connection string in the web.config, that can be used under the protected configuration. Next is, what is the good practice to implement validation in ASPX page? Client-side validation is the best way to validate data of a web page. It reduces the network traffic and saves the server resources. So client-side, we can say JavaScript or jQuery validation is the most used validator in the ASPX pages. What are the event handlers that we can have in the global.sx file? application events. We can say application events contain the application start and application end. Then application acquire requested, application authenticate request, authorize, then begin, dispose, end, error, post request, then pre-request handler execute, application present request content, present request, application release request, then resolve request, application update request cache, and there are other also that are in the events present in the application event handlers. Then session events are also there, next session start and session end. Let's move to the next question. Which protocol is used to call a web service? HTTP protocol is used to call normal web service. Web service, we can say it's a reusable component present at some server that can be accessed over the internet with the help of HTTP protocol. Then, how you can add an event handler? For that, we need to use attributes property of a server-side control. Example like button.attributes.add on mouse over, we need to add JavaScript code. With this help, we can add the event handler. And last question is, can we have a web application running without config file? Yes. So answer is the yes. So these are the 25 questions that I use normally asked in the expert interview question series. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye bye.